Hi again, everyone. So I'm back again already. I guess this video YouTube stuff is kind of addicting. As I see new things, I'm like, hey, I should probably record this stuff. Now what we're looking at, one of I think my very first video, which was actually just a couple hours ago, kind of talked about a little bit about the congestion and things that I experienced on the Bitcoin network as I tried to do experiments and try to move money around for the very first time using Bitcoin. And so this site that I'm on here, it kind of gives like a near real-time stream of what's occurring on the Bitcoin blockchain. So as we can see here, over here on the left, it kind of shows there's various different Bitcoin pools around the world that are participating in verifying the transactions and things that are going on the Bitcoin network. So you can kind of see there are some pretty large ones. So whatever this one is accounting for about 28% of the overall last 100 blocks that have been found, whatever this address belongs to. So that could be a company, it could be some individual that happen to have hundreds and hundreds of miners, or probably more likely thousands of miners that are finding these blocks. Via BTC, I think I've heard of that one. F2 pool, I've heard of that one. BTC.top, I've heard of that. Slush pool, definitely heard of that. So this kind of give you an idea. This might be not extensive of the entire network, but this is what this particular site, I guess, is focusing in on. Then over here on the right hand side, you kind of see the current ongoing price of Bitcoin. So a little bit earlier, it was a little bit below 18,000. I'm a little bit below 19,000. Now it's above 19,000 and climbing. Kind of see the current estimated hash rate. So that's 14,119 petahashes per second, which is huge. You can see the activity going on. So there's approximately 295 transactions per minute happening on the network right now. And let's go ahead and refresh this. My page is refreshing a little bit slow, but let's go ahead and refresh that and take a look at what it looks like now. We're just trying to go up. So yeah, just a little bit, like the price of Bitcoin went up a little bit more. So yeah, looking at about 293 transactions per minute are hitting the blockchain. And then look at this unconfirmed transaction number. So as I mentioned, when I had looked at it several days ago, it was about 130,000, and then it was at 160,000, and now we look at it again today, it's still at 160,000. So what that means that more transactions are coming in faster than they can be confirmed. And this unconfirmed transaction number is growing. It's not really shrinking very much. At least for the last couple of days as I've been looking at it. Or at least that's my understanding of this data that I'm looking at coming into this website. So 160,000 transactions are kind of pending or unconfirmed across the network. So as more transactions coming in, those transactions are likely being put at the back of the queue, unless they have a big fee. So a lot of the large-scale miners, they will configure their miners so, like, if someone is paying a higher fee for that particular transaction, they'll try to pick that up and mine it and get it going and get it confirmed faster, because they're going to make more money off of it if they mine it first. At least that's my understanding. That could be not totally accurate, but that's kind of what I've seen. I kind of looked at some of the settings that you can set on the miner and configure it a little bit different. So there's some tweaking and things like that, and say a little bit, I guess, manipulation that the miners can do to try to maximize their profits as they're mining and participating in the network. So also the other things they have here is this fee rate number that see this fee rate number is kind of going up. I believe this is kind of like the average transaction cost is what this is trying to represent. So I'm not sure what that is in BTC. So let's take a look at what approximately that is. Actually, I think you may not be able to see this right now, what I'm seeing. But let me just do a few calculations here. So that's about $5.55. It's average fee rate based on the current price. Yeah, about almost $5.50 or so per transaction is the average rate. So some are more, some are less, but that's the rough going amount. So as I mentioned, like when I first got into Bitcoin or trying out Bitcoin, actually trying to use it, a few days, well, actually a few weeks ago, I found that the transaction fees were high because I thought when I first started hearing about like cryptocurrencies and things like that, it was like, oh yeah, they have very extremely low transaction fees, near zero. That was kind of the rage and all the things behind it. Because say if you want to like send $100 through something like, I don't know, like Western Union or I don't know, some of those other things, you may pay $10 for that privilege to do that. And then the claim, or the supposed claim at the time, is like, okay, the same thing on like a Bitcoin network or cryptocurrency networks would be like a penny or cents on the dollar to do the same thing. And on Bitcoin, at least right now, that's not the case. But say, I guess for a $5 transaction, you could probably send $10,000 versus the same as you could $10. So sending those smaller amounts probably don't make a ton of sense because you're eating up a lot of what you're trying to send by transaction fee. But I can definitely see buying more expensive things with BTC and transferring the money through the Bitcoin network, because that will be dramatically cheaper and probably faster than the traditional way to move money around. So yeah, I thought I could kind of just share that with the community. This is something that site I just kind of stumbled across the other day. I don't know if this is a good site or best site to view this, but this is one that I stumbled across. Seems to have good information. And then so as I saw this, this number starting to jive with what I was actually experiencing, where as new things as I'm putting a transaction in, I was part of this like 300 new transactions that's coming in every minute. But ahead of me, there's these 160,000 transactions or more, or like 120, 130,000 at the time when I was looking at it. There was ahead of me that and that were probably going to get priority over mine. And then the other wrinkle or part of that are the transactions that may not have been properly broadcasted out to the network. So maybe certain nodes didn't get notification of that, so that can cause other problems too. Or if the fee associated with it was too small. So say if you tried to broadcast a transaction out to the network and you say, hey, my fee, I only want to pay 20 cents for that, or whatever that is in BTC. That transaction may be a really long time before a miner actually prioritize that and pick it up. So that's another thing that I'm learning with cryptocurrency. And like I said, that's not a problem with only Bitcoin. This can be a problem on any of the.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
That was weird. So I guess Alexa thought I was talking to her. She tried to start talking to us. She's pretty close to where I'm sitting, so that might have got picked up. But anyway, as you can see here, like the fee rate is actually increasing a little bit as time go on, and the number of unconfirmed transactions you see it actually just jumped by 1,000 just since I've been talking here. So definitely some delays. So transaction age 104 hours. So that's what, 24, 48, 72. Like 4 or 5 days. So some transactions are very old that have not been processed yet, and it's getting more and more backed up. So if you're making transactions on here and you're sending it with a small fee, you're probably going to get kicked way back into the back of the queue somewhere, and it may be a couple days for your transactions to get confirmed on the blockchain and become like a permanent record within the chain. So yeah, I thought that was good information that I learned, and I thought I would share it out because I don't know how widespread that is. And like I said, I'm just starting this channel out, and as I learn new things, I'm kind of excited to be part of it and learning more things. I'll share those little nitbits and pieces out as I go along. So hopefully this information has been helpful, and like, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks.